Hey, it's Mark, and I'm back with some stock charts. Let's just look at some of the ones I've been looking at pretty recently, like TLT. See, even bonds today rallied with the market. Looks like that pullback there was all we got for, a pullback. And it's just off, with everything else today, like super risk on. Even the commodities were pretty strong today, like gold, which has been pretty weak, was pretty strong today. So the way things are going, it doesn't look like this momentum's gonna slow down anytime soon. And we can look at the Russell 2000, which had another really good wide-ranging day today. It's a really long candle, like it's been doing recently too. That just broke through another level, so it already pushed through that next level that I had drawn up. So our next level is actually a breakout, and that was a pretty big level that's got coming up because it was like a double top really back in July, and then back in February was a double top, and it even goes farther back, back in August that really topped out around the same area too. So the Russell 2000, it's got some big levels coming up, and I had to redraw my trend lines because the momentum just hasn't slowed down, and sneakingly it kind of did another little triangle consolidation there, but it's really more just like a sideways kind of consolidation, like a long flag almost. And so I originally had my support level down there, but the momentum just hasn't slowed down, so things are just getting bought up, quicker and quicker. Like it pretty much never even really had, never even really had like 2 or 3 red days. Like I mean, there it was down a good bit, but even when it's consolidating, it's almost green, every couple days. So and it looked like a lot of that had to do with Jerome Powell's press conference because there was he had an FOMC presser today, and yeah, read about when it was going on. It looked like the market reacted positively to the Jerome Powell presser. So and the way it closed too, it looks like the reaction was positive for assets. And some people may not even be thinking about what it really means if they cut rates, because that's historically when they start cutting interest rates, when they start lowering the Fed funds rate, after they've been raising it, that's usually where the equity markets tend to top out, or they roughly top out at the same time, because we go into recessions usually when the Fed's been raising rates for a long time, and as QT with the quantitative tightening and stuff too. Like it's like it's remains to be seen, when it's gonna play out, if there's gonna be a recession. But it looks like they've done a pretty good job so far at averting a recession even after so many quarters of raising the Fed funds rate. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen it. Like I can't. It's pretty historic how long they've been raising the Fed funds rates, even aggressively, and then there's no labor market recession, or like a typical recession where you see like higher unemployment, or spikes in unemployment. I mean, there was a little bit of a spike in the last report, but the trend is still pretty good. So like you've got to see like at least like 2 or 3 months of bad employment data to really call it a new trend. So trends apply to data too, and that's typically what you want to look at. But the market's been able to blow that stuff off, and there very well could be a mild recession or something like, but it's just kind of like what Powell was saying. It's you don't know, like you can't really predict a year in advance, but so far so good, and Powell's done a pretty good job of handling the commentary and these press conferences. Like the politicians, they really blew the all the fiscal spending, like the with the COVID lockdowns and stuff, and the stimulus. That wasn't anything that Powell decided. He's kind of had to deal with that. He kind of dealt with the aftermath of the inflation. So it's not really like he's done a terrible job. Like it was more so probably with the spending. It's just like the nature of the government is the spend, and this time they actually they spend a lot, and then we got the inflation, and the labor market was disrupted. So yeah, it was kind of like a perfect storm. But anyway, so let's get back to these charts here. The Nasdaq was just incredible again. I mean, this is like a lot of days in a row here where we've had a green day. Is it 3, 4, 5, 6 days? See, back here we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, basically 7, almost 8, really, like a week, more. And that was before a pretty significant pullback. But you just keep thinking it's going to be, overbought here eventually, at least in the short term, and we're going to get some kind of pullback. But so far that hasn't played out, and the shorts are just getting squeezed and wrecked here. Well, more so in these small caps. And KRE was a huge breakout today. I think today was actually, it looks like today it broke out officially, because we hit over that 49.50s on the KRE. Excuse me, and so it's kind of been moving like IWM. I mean, look at that consolidation. That was just crazy. Like it seemed like it was just gonna start to pull back, but it actually broke out again off of trend resistance like that. This resistance level just got annihilated through. So the momentum's even picked up, in these regional banks, and that was kind of like, that's always what everybody thinks or tends to think is the only weak spot that could, emerge in the economy, is these banks and real estate and commercial property and stuff like that. But one of the things I did see on the long side today, I basically blew my my XLI calls. I put a stop on them this morning, which was kind of stupid because I never put stops. Like I haven't been putting many stops on these options this year, but I put a stop loss like a little bit lower than the open, and of course there was a pretty good pullback, so I got stopped out, and totally totally blew that one. But it was a hell of a setup, and hopefully somebody else traded that, because that was a nice triangle to trade, and it's still going. So, but that was a good setup. But unfortunately, I kind of changed what I usually do and put a stop loss on it. But And the other one I was looking at for a trade now is DNA, and it hasn't really had a run yet with it hasn't run with the rest of biotech, and I haven't looked at like a healthcare specific ETF, but you can see biotech's been really strong, the past month. Like biotech had a huge day today. That was I'm looking at this for the first time here, and this this biotech today was up. The biotech ETF was up 4%. The IBB, excuse me, and that's just a huge candle that I don't think it's had for a long time here. And let's pull it out and look at it on a longer term. Yeah, it's kind of like, because it had this little downtrend going there, topped out, and then it did this little downtrend thing, and it just broke through. So we just broke through this downtrend. It even printed a hammer yesterday, which is pretty telling, huh? But this DNA looks pretty. It looks like it held support there, like this 130, 129 or so area. Looks like that held. So it's breaking a. It's got this little triangle wedge. It's breaking out of too. It looks pretty bullish, and the fact that it's not up a lot yet. And this is a pretty good company. Like the fundamentals are really good. I just had that one. I kind of flagged that one in my mind as one of the better these biotechs that I was looking at months ago. So that's pretty interesting that the biotech is up 4%, and then the DNA is up 8%. And I haven't put on the calls yet, but it has calls, so I'll probably be in 150 calls if it strikes if they have those. And another one I traded today. Well, I put on some open calls because it has a pretty good short interest. Like the short percentage of the float was like 14%, according to one source I saw. And I just think it can go up a lot more if there's any short covering, which looks like was what happened today. Because it's like a huge spike in volume, and it was up about 10% or so. So I was kind of looking for squeezes, because this run could still keep going with squeezes. Like things are just squeezing now. So one of the other things I saw was this BITF that I totally missed when Bitcoin was running. I just ran some scans, and this one just hit a 52-week high scan, and it's been nonstop really. Basically with Bitcoin it looks like, and it's just still going. What's actually been a lot stronger than Bitcoin. I'm not sure what's going on with that one, but I'm pretty sure that one's a miner. But I'm just gonna double check because it looks like it's got to be some kind of a miner. Yeah, it's a mining of cryptocurrency, server farms. Not so sure about the fundamentals on that one. Well, it's in Canada, so it's probably not totally sketchy, like if it was in China or something. But this thing's just been going, the BITF. And it went from like $1 to $3, and it's like 3 weeks maybe, something like that. So yeah, the any was huge too, because this one's been going with Bitcoin too. It's another miner. And it looks like that actually looks like a bull flag now. Now that I look at it, and I can see that mostly with the volume here. See, see how the sell volume on these red days just kind of declines each day because there's people buying it too. So it's a pretty messy flag, but that's that looks like the flag there, the bull flag. So yeah, the way the sell volume's been pretty light. So that's something to pay attention to. Like I think there's a good chance this one hits the highs again. Maybe even just keeps going. So it may not even be. It may just be getting started really if Bitcoin continues. So and I'm taking a loss on my Bitcoin. I have some buy to puts too. Because I really thought that gap down was gonna hold. Seemed to be like at least a short-term top, but Bitcoin just trades pretty radically sometimes. So we can look at, yeah, gold was a huge reversal today. And the GOD actually held that level. So it's trying to come back into a support there. Let's see what the futures themselves look like. It's really more important. Yeah, it came back up too. It's back on that level there. So it reclaimed trend support, that level there. Just reclaimed it. And yeah, it's a pretty big reversal. And even let's look at oil. Oil, not so much of a move really. Off like the reaction in oil today wasn't as much as everything else. So that's interesting. So it makes me think it's really just going to continue lower. But it's got that level coming up, so there's not a whole lot it can do right here until it gets to that level. And semiconductors, somebody was saying those were pretty weak today, but those are pretty good too today. Just a steady accumulation. You can kind of see where the squeezes were. Like the squeezes were in a lot of small caps and banks and stuff. Like I bet some of these high short interest, yeah, VLY was a big pop. Yeah, I think that's kind of what I looked at. I was going through some scans and didn't really see a whole lot of interesting. Yeah, one thing I did find was this GSM was interesting. This one's like a silicone provider. Let me just look at their business real quick again. They basic materials, silicone and specialty metals industry provides silicone chemicals that are used in a range of applications. So I'm not sure if that's the silicone itself or the chemicals, silicone chemicals. But it's probably the chemicals because it's basic materials, not necessarily mining. Yeah, it's got a range of customers. It looks like it's $1 billion company, and it's in London. It's in London, UK. I was looking at their financials, like the revenue growth isn't not anything to go crazy about, but the looks like their earnings forecast is better, and the earnings have been the forecast has been lowered though. But this could be. I was wondering if it was a squeeze too. When I look at it, nah, no, it's definitely not squeezing. But it had a really nice consolidation it did here, and then today's today's move was really good. And I was looking at the long-term chart. You can see in the past here when it has these long candles, they tend to keep going and going for about a month or so. Like there are some big candles back there. Like today's candle was really big. I mean, it was a really wide candle. So, or it was a wide day today. So, I really think there's a lot of potential for follow through here because it's trading like a Momo stock right now. It's just trading like, I mean, it went from 490 to like $6 in like a week. So it could easily go 7, 8, 9, or probably maybe 7 or 8 easily in next week. So that's a breakout trade. If it breaks out again, that's a buy. It's not even really anything. Like I would have thought it would have been like heavily shorted or something because it was up so much today, but I guess it's just flows coming into it. They're it's just being accumulated. And I was trying to see what it had going on in the long-term chart, like see some levels, but it tends to just trade in these channels. Like it does a channel, did a channel there, and then it kind of had like another channel there. It did, even though it went out of it. Channel. There's another channel. And it's just got this long channel it was in for a long time here. And then it broke below it and then reclaimed that support level there, that trend line. And then the momentum just is huge, been coming in huge. It's kind of like in 2022 back here, it had these big spike days that just kept going. So obviously, I wish I found this a couple days ago because that was a pretty neat, pretty obvious consolidation there. It's kind of like a pennant triangle almost, and well, actually that basically is a triangle. I mean, because it's got that uptrend going. But anyway, this one's a good one to watch for some continuation. And I'm kind of curious how junk bonds reacted today too. Oh yeah, look at that. See. Yeah, it's definitely risk on. That was a huge move today in junk bonds. Trying to see that candle. It's kind of like these bear rallies back there. It's a big candle. And it just broke through this resistance level. It's not technically a breakout, but that's like the level I drew based on where it touched the most times. You could even lower it. I mean, it's kind of been lowered back in there, and it actually did a triangle too, like a lot of things have been doing. So that's a really strong move in junk bonds. The HYG is the same thing. Huge candle today. So yeah, it's pretty much everything I'm seeing is this risk on. except for oil, was not much of a reaction really today. But that's been relatively weak anyway, and natural gas too. So let's go through one more watch list, and then I'll just call it a wrap. But I really was really thinking I'd find some more stuff in these scans, but there were some there's a lot of things breaking out, but they're just already up so much. Like you don't want to chase into like an overbought situation because there's spots to take here where things are still haven't run a lot. Yeah, it's just a lot of breakouts. You know, just continuation. I was kind of wondering about that uranium stock that I looked at was pretty interesting. Yeah, the MIR. This one, yeah, I was asleep on that one today too. This one's looks like it's just picking up momentum even more here. And this one, yeah, it was the only green one in my uranium watch list because it's more of like a periphery trade on uranium. That one actually hit the MIR was a new 52-week high today. Another thing I keep seeing Rolls Royce in my scans too. This one, like I've seen this one like 2 days in a row now. And I thought I never really investigated this company much. I thought it was just a car company, but apparently they're big in like defense and like aerospace and like big commercial stuff. It's a big time on big large scale, a lot of manufacturing. So this one just keeps breaking out too. It's just been an incredible run from like November. Broke out back in November, and it's at a multi-year high too. I don't know why I didn't see this one earlier in my scans. I guess it's been kind of range bound for a long time, but it just broke out. Like it was range bound there and there pretty much, but it's been a heck of a move. Like it's actually up from this is saying it's like 80 cents a share back in the end of 2022. Now it's like $4 almost. So there's something going on there. I just want to look at their revenue growth and stuff real quick. Because you think they must be growing pretty fast to have that kind of stock move. $32 billion market cap. Yeah, this one's, I guess it's like yeah, it's gonna be hard to find the exact financials. But yeah, I mean, revenue is nothing crazy. But they're not gonna have guidance because I guess it's foreign. Maybe we can find it on Nasdaq. I just want to see if there's anything obvious here, like if there's like 100% growth going forward or something crazy like that. Let's just see. And let's see what their growth is. Uh, since it's UK, it may not be able to get anything. Yeah, I'm not seeing stuff. Well, I guess they're doing something right. Seeing there's a good bit of breakouts here. Yeah, Rocket was another one because I was looking at these. I was looking at a lot of the housing related stuff. That could be a squeeze going too with the Rocket. I mean, the Redfin's pretty strong today, but wasn't crazy move. So I'll just call it a wrap there because I touched on a lot of things that I was thinking about. So I'll catch you later.